name is Kate McMahon, and we are here with folks from the Nauset Interfaith Association. And thanks for joining us for What's Happening. And if I may, I'd like to introduce Leo Blanford. Leo, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And Karen Bojakis. How are you?
Terrific, Kate. Thank you for having us.
Great to see you both. Let's start, if we can, Karen, if you could tell us a little bit about the Interfaith Association.
I'd be happy to. So my understanding of Nauset Interfaith, because I've only been on the Cape 5 years, was founded after 9/11 in response to people feeling the tragic events, people feeling adrift. And so a number of congregations came together and said, how can we better support community members who are struggling to learn from this, move on from this. So they came together. Their mission, the part that I love, is that they are very interested in developing community and particularly welcoming people who have traditionally, historically, and still contemporaneously felt marginalized for whatever reason. So they have a number of action teams. One works with LGBTQ youth, one works with refugees, and ours is the Martin Luther King racial justice advocacy group.
That's great. And you both have leadership roles on the MLK group team?
We do. I am currently co-chairing with a wonderful woman named Panchita Peterson. We are the co-chair conveners of the MLK Action Team, and I also co-chair the Education Task Force, which is a part of that. So we've divided our work into a number of task forces. One of them is conversations with some of the local police chiefs. Another one is education issues. A third is criminal justice reform. And our newest initiative is what Leo is chairing, and I'll let him talk to you a little bit about his leadership there.
Oh, great.
So we have a new task force, and it's a health equity task force. And so now I am the chair of the health equity task force within the MLK Action Team. And part of what we are promoting as part of one of our first events is the Who We Are project. And this is a film documenting or chronicling racism in America. And so if we are to look at some of the things that we've been going through over the past 3 years with COVID, it's really highlighted disparities that we have within, specifically within our healthcare system. Mm-hmm. And so if we are looking at that not only across the country, but what does that look like within Barnstable County? And so we thought that this film does a really good job of setting a foundation for where some of these things started and why we are where we are today. And so I think, it's none of our faults, the reason why we have disparities within our communities, but I think this film does a good job at setting a foundation of what the history has been and why we have some of these disparities that are based on racial, ethnic demographics. We thought this would be a good opportunity to have a community forum around it and to kind of set the stage as far as what this looks like nationally. But I think the film does a really good job of saying, what are we going to do about this? And so I think if we are to come together as a community, again, COVID has had many disparaging impacts on us as a community. But I think another thing that it has done is help us to come together to problem solve some of these different things. And so if we are to look at some of the data within Barnstable County, we can see that there are disparities in mortality rates for cancer and cardiovascular, but we also see disparities by race and ethnicity and per capita income. And so if we are looking at some of these data points, I think that is a good place to start, because we can't really have action or change unless we have awareness of what some of these issues are.
Right.
And so I think the film does a really good job of setting the foundation for why things are the way they are. And then if we are coming together as a community, then maybe we can have some discussions. And sometimes these discussions are kind of uncomfortable and difficult, but we can't move forward and practice unless we have some opportunities and some chances to come together and to have at least some common foundational understanding of where we are and how we would like to move forward.
Absolutely. Education, dialogue, action, right?
It's
And
all
hopefully
there.
change
It's all
then
there.
follows, right?
There you go.
And outcomes, yeah.
Yeah.
So what we did was we invited a number of other social justice and racial justice advocates throughout Barnstable County to join us in partnering on this film. And there are 5 of them, Leo being one, who are going to hold a panel discussion following the film. So what we think, the panel is still working through how they would like to do that, but what we're asking is that they talk a little bit about their organization, so people are familiar with other racial justice organizations on the Cape, and then react to the film, what they feel the film meant to them. And also the suggestion has been made that we ask the audience what their reactions to the film are and how we can move forward as a community to address some of those issues. Truthfully, I'm most excited about the panel discussion part because we have some really terrific people who have been working very hard for the last 2 to 3 years on these issues, and I think the community will learn a lot from each one of them.
That's great. And especially since they're representing different organizations.
Yes.
Perhaps people will see the depth of the work that is also being done on the Cape.
That's exactly our goal.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I think that I think there's a bit of an acronym soup lately. So when we are talking about DEIB, right, diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, or if we're talking about BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, people of color, if we are talking about class, which is culturally, linguistically appropriate services. So we are talking about within just systems. So if we are talking about the healthcare system, I mean, is my particular area of focus. There is a lot of effort in moving towards how do we look at the data, how are we collecting data, how are we providing interventions, and so I'm hoping that with this increase in awareness, increase in movement towards this focus on, there's another acronym I heard, JEDI, Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. And so there are, so there is a lot of academia and research that is coming out to support some of these various things. And so I'm hoping that members from the community, members from various agencies and organizations will take advantage of the opportunity to watch this film and to hopefully learn a little bit about not only our national history, but how that impacts us locally.
Well, I just learned 2 things in the few minutes we've been sitting here because I'd never heard class and I'd never heard JEDI as those acronyms. So
and
we
class
always
is,
have something to learn.
Yeah, in class, that is something that the state is doing. So Department of Public Health, typically they are pushing trainings and pushing conversations towards these things. And so I think if we are looking at a state level, if we are looking at a county level or regional agencies, I mean, I think that there is a lot of opportunity for change and action, and I think all that starts with awareness and conversation. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, the name of the film is Who We Are, A Chronicle of Racism in America.
yes.
And folks are going to be able to purchase tickets to see the movie and participate in the panel discussion from Cape Cinema.
That's
where
correct. Cape Cinema is on Hope Lane. I think that's
Yes, Hope
Dennisport.
Lane.
And they've been terrific. They've been very supportive about the project. The ticket prices are $15. A very small percentage of that is going to the MLK Action Team because we are a nonprofit trying to do racial justice work. But the tickets are already on sale. So I am encouraging everyone to come and to join us. I think we can always learn something new. And I think that as a community, it's an important thing to undertake. So hopefully people will go online, buy their tickets, join us that evening, and really learn and share their own reflections on the film.
Yeah,
Yes.
it sounds like a great event. And that's going to be happening on June 20th,
That's correct.
Cape Cinema over in Dennis.
We chose that because it's the Juneteenth holiday weekend. Juneteenth technically is the 19th, but the federal holiday is the 20th and doesn't overlap with Father's Day. So, yes, it's a Monday at 4 o'clock, which is a little odd for people who work, but that was the recommendation of the cinema manager, not Leo and I.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like to add?
I don't think so.
I think we covered it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for the important work that you're doing in our community as well.
Thank you. Thank
you
you
for
for the
having us.
opportunity to share this with everyone.
Yes, absolutely.
We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us today. Until next time, I'm Kate McMahon, and this is What's Happening.